Yo, what's good guys, but I'm Fire here back from the video, and today we're going to be hopping into another defense in Madden 22. Today we're going to be running a little bit of 2-4-5 double A gap. This is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive playbook. So we go ahead, have 2-4-5 odd, we still have dime 1-4-6, 2-3-6, we still have 3-3-5 wide as well. Really as the whole package, we're just going to add another level with this defense. And again, 2-4-5 double A gap. The play we're going to run is cover 3 cloud show 2. As you see there on the left-hand side, cover 3 cloud show 2, which is going to be a pretty good coverage to adjust out of. And we're actually going to go into our coach adjustments for the first time this year. We can actually do that. So we're going to go with auto flip on. You can set your auto element to base if you want. Leave that default, whatever. Usually I'll just go base. And then we'll go ahead and adjust our zone drops, which is the main reason we want coaching adjustments in practice mode. We finally got it. I want to go ahead and set my curl flats to either 20 or 25 yards. Depends on the player, depends on what you're facing. I'll go 25 yards here. And then we'll set our flats to either 5 or 10 to be safe. We'll go around, let's go 5 for now. I would definitely go up to 10 depending on the situation as well. So it just depends on what is happening, but we're going to go up against a little bit of tight slots here. Let's go ahead and move the face cam. But again, Tampa Bay Buccaneers playbook, 2-4-5 double A gap. And maybe I'll move it a little bit further down. But yeah, so we already base aligned as we did in our coaching adjustments. So all we're going to do here is just press our defense. Now, we're going to run it a couple of different ways with a couple of different users. You can do different things depending on who are you using, but for now we're just going to use the linebacker for this first setup, Bobby Wagner. So you're going to baseline press, then you're going to go ahead and spread your D-line. Definitely something you want to do. Spread your D-line. That's going to move those 4 defensive linemen. Again, 2 linebackers, 4 D linemen, and then your 5 DBs for your makeup. You can also go ahead and get safeties at linebackers if you want. It's not something that I did here, but you could definitely do it to add to your coverage. Now, for this first setup, really all we're going to do is go ahead and just put X here in a hard flat zone, and that's really going to be it. Again, we have our hard flat over there on the right. That's going to play however much we want. And yeah, man, this is going to be it for our first play. Now, another thing you can go ahead and do is contain. This will help. This is a pretty good formation for containing the quarterback, stopping escape artist, if I'm not mistaken. But you see, we actually end up getting a weird little blitz where we are able to get pressure, which definitely is a situation that can happen, that I've seen happen before. Take a look at it. Again, we get Carlos Dunlap off the edge. Now, this doesn't normally happen. It probably had to do with Dallas Goedert splitting. So again, route combination would affect it. But you see, we end up getting pressure, which can happen. When you run this double A gap, you will see certain weird things happen that might not happen out of normal formations. Taking a look over here, again, we have our curl flat going deep, which is going to be our slot cornerback. He's running pretty deep, and you see he would continue going and defending that corner out. Obviously, Jalen Hurts is sacked there, but we have our 5-yard hurl flat, or 5-yard cloud flat, which is going to lurk over there. Again, you can set that over to 10. Reason I would set it over to 10 is just so that this guy could cover a little bit more ground. But again, if your opponent's really just throwing like out routes, wheel routes, smoke screens, just weird stuff like that, flats, that's when you go 5 yards and pretty much prevent that from happening. If it's not an issue, you can go up to 10 like I mentioned. So again, first setup, all we're doing is pressing, spreading our D-line, putting X on a hard flat, and then really just standing here. Again, you can contain if you want and snap the ball that way. Here you see we don't get pressure, but we end up getting relatively quick pressure. And again, a lot of these stuff is taken away. Of course, your assignment with your user right now is going to be watching the middle of the field. You don't have to really defend any sidelines, but I would watch the middle. And then, of course, we're going to kind of watch any deep routes going from left to right because, again, we don't have a deep zone drop on that right side. So we're going to watch that. Also, situationally, you're going to run this defense like this where you have that deep curl flat on the wide side of the field covering the most ground, and you are able to take away deep routes on that side. On this shorter side of the field, which is the right side, you're a little bit less likely to do that, and you will see your outside thirds probably able to jump a lot more of that stuff because they don't have as much yardage to cover. Pretty simple stuff, pretty simple geometry right there. So we'll show it again, just hard flatting X, pretty simple stuff. And is there any other there's not really any good plays in our audibles, but you could see something like this, I guess. Maybe a wheel, a little in route, and then you have your deeper post. So again, we just set it up like this. You see really everything taken away, the wheel route and the corner out, short yardage taken away as well. And again, you're rushing 4, so you could get quick pressure. Another thing that's good about this formation is that we do have the option to blitz. You can definitely blitz out of this formation. Now, normally the blitz you will see will come out of this cover 1 hole, and you will see people kind of run it like this. What's on baseline, but we'll just press. And normally this blitz will kind of be ran like this, where you'll just go ahead, blitz everybody, blitz all linebackers, user this deep zone, and then when the ball is snapped, okay, we see the running back go out, that's when we'll user him, but normally it's going to work like that. You're going to get quick pressure off the edge. So how do we disguise our cover 3 cloud in the same way as that cover 1? The way you're going to do it is you have to user one of the safeties. And again, with this, if you don't want to man align, you don't have to, so we can undo our baseline. Or if we don't want a baseline, we don't have to kind of give it the same look. So we can actually run it like this if we want. See, now it looks pretty much the same, and you'll notice when we bring our user down, it'll look almost identical. So in order to disguise it, we need to do a couple of things here. What I'm going to do is go ahead, put B on an outside third. We're going to put A here in a hard flat. And then if we want to continue our double label, we could just put both linebackers in hard flats. Again, you're going to shift your D-line out, but you're going to kind of run your coverage like this and just user Adam. So you still have deep help, pretty much the same exact play. Only difference, you're using the safety. And of course, if you were to baseline press, you would also notice that on this right side, Jalen Reagor could potentially get open on a quick streak. So that is something to maybe worry about. And that depends formation to formation. We're, of course, in a compressed set, so that would have an effect on it. But we're just going to run like this. He's probably thinking, oh, we're setting pressure. What is he going to do? He's going to max protect. He's going to block 7, maybe just run a coverage or a play design kind of like this. Okay, we have a drag, corner out, deep post. Pretty much everything is going to be taken away. And that's just simply not going to be the case. We can lurk over on B. Y is going to be bagged by our outside third, and you will notice that the deep post should be defended as well. Now, again, if the deep post is not if you think maybe it's getting over the top, you don't have to necessarily press. Maybe we just back him off. So we can back off this guy. And again, all you're doing is putting B in an outside third. You're spreading your D-line, putting X in a hard flat and A in a hard flat as well. So pretty simple coverage. Really only 3 adjustments, and again, I would probably cancel the baseline for this particular coverage. And also, if he's going super deep routes, I could even see situations where maybe you actually increase the zone drop to 30 yards at a time. If he's running like verticals, you know that deep over route gets 30 yards down the field. You can actually raise that to 30 yards, and I would be fine with doing that because that does end up happening. And you notice how the corner out here almost is getting over the top that many yards. So go ahead, snap the ball, and again, he's going to be probably getting rid of the ball quick. Even if you don't send the pressure, he's going to still think in the back of his mind he has that clock running. When's the pressure going to get there? So you'll see him probably rush his reads when you're in this formation. And even if you never blitz out of this formation, and I would recommend mixing in the blitz, he's still going to have problems with it. Just this formation, people see it, they just start playing differently. You will notice that. I know a lot of you guys, when you probably see this formation online, you probably get like, oh my gosh, we're not playing this. And it's just something with the mindset that can affect it. Some other things you could do with this defense, and kind of with the same thing, bringing the safety down, that you could actually do, is we could leave our hook curl here. We could leave Bobby Wagner in this case. If we wanted to go with a 4-man rush, we could leave Bobby Wagner and go with a hard flat over here with Carlos Dunlap, who I would recommend getting some outside linebackers in that DN spot personally. But you could go like this. Definitely would be a good coverage. This is going to allow us to either man up Bobby Wagner on the tight end or the running back, whoever we want, or just leave him in his hook curl. Going to allow us to get better coverage. And you're still rushing 3, which is not necessarily a terrible amount. A lot of people in this game will rush more than 3, or will even go to a 2-man rush. So rushing 3 is not the worst thing in the world, I would say. I'll show that coverage again. And again, if you want to, you could baseline press, just because I just wouldn't recommend doing it with this particular version of the defense. Main reason being you want it to look the same as man coverage, and nobody's going to run baseline press man coverage, if that makes any sense. So it's going to look a lot more realistic if you run it like this. And you could even move this guy over if you want, just to give him the same look. Which, okay, this looks a lot like cover 1. I'll show the cover 1 again next play, and you'll see it's going to look almost identical to this, I'm guessing. So again, pretty much all we're doing here is putting X in a hard flat. We're putting this BD lineman in a hard flat, still outside thirding B. And then again, with your user, you can blitz him, do whatever. Now, the contain out of this is not going to be as good as if you were to go ahead and rush the 4-man, I'll be honest. So the option to scramble out, you will notice, easy scrambles out. Now, you do have a hard flat, but it will be a lot easier to do that. Again, get a faster corner. Sidney Jones is not a good simulation in this because you will all, I'm guessing, almost all have better corners than him. So I wouldn't pay attention to too much on how he's actually playing, but that is something to obviously note. But yeah, man, I mean, pretty simple defense, pretty simple coverages. Now, I'll actually show the cover 1 again just to give you guys an idea. So we're going to cancel the baseline. We're just going to press. You notice how the biggest difference is the safety's going to move over. So a really good player might be able to notice. Main reason being is the safety moves over, and then you actually user this other guy. So it is difficult to kind of disguise man to zone this year. They should know, but really, we're not bluffing man as much as we're just bluffing pressure. So don't be focused too much on, okay, I'm trying to make this look like man coverage as I'm trying to make this look like a blitz, because you can still blitz out of like cover 2, and you bringing the safety down will almost guarantee that he at least is going to block his running back, and that will definitely be helpful. So he blocks his running back, and then obviously if you're running cover 1, he blocks 6, you can still get easy pressure. So mix in the blitz with cover 1. As far as blitzing out of cover 3 cloud, probably wouldn't be your best bet, but if you were to, I think what we're going to go ahead and do out of the blitz is blitz all linebackers, and then what we're going to do is just put B in like an outside third, kind of hover here. Here, what do we do here? We set our, probably just shade underneath, probably going to run it like this. So if you were to send pressure, you could do it like that. Go ahead and snap the ball, and then you're like working over quickly, but you see we actually got 2 people free, so that is a good way to blitz out of this formation. Take a look at the replay. You notice how we get 2 people free, both edge rushers, your quote-unquote D ends, but again, I would get like a 99 speed Micah Parsons if it were me, someone quick off the edge, and you see easy work. We actually get 3 people free. Jordan Brooks gets through as well. So, and again, coverage-wise, who's open here? You can't really throw much, and again, what are you forcing him to do if you get that pressure just through once? What's going to be in the back of his mind? What's he going to do the next time up? He's going to max protect, and he's just going to run like this. So again, if that's the case, you can still get this outside third, still use your Jamal Adams, and honestly, you still might be able to get pressure, if I'm not mistaken. And we get those guys kind of jumping over the line. Just a very chaotic blitzing formation, just it's super unpredictable to block. The blocking system will always be different. Almost every rep, you'll see the offense blocking a different way. So the offense really doesn't know if the pressure is going to get there or not, even if you send the same amount of people every play. But that's going to do it for the video. If you guys enjoyed, drop a big thumbs up, subscribe to the channel down below, and peace. I'm out of here.